Hi everybody! Today we're going to be doing a build of a 70s split level house. This is called the 70s Dream Home because it's huge and it's the, perfect suburban home of the 1970s. So I wanted to build a split level home. Split level homes were very common in the 60s and 70s. And what you will see in a split level home is you kind of get 2.5 floors generally. It's, where they have stairs going into one half of the house, but they're like little stairs, if that makes any sense. If you look up a picture of a split level home, you'll understand. You might even live in a split level home. So I've seen other people try to do these split level homes before on the Sims 4 build engine, and they're not true split levels, and this one isn't either. Because The Sims doesn't want you, it doesn't let you build the split level home, because of elevation constraints, and maybe that wasn't a thing in The Sims 3. I feel like it may not have been, but it's been so long since I built anything with that. But they had stages and things in The Sims 3 build engine. Maybe they had it in like the Nightlife expansion pack. I don't know. It's been so long. So this is the best that I could do. So, I found a floor plan for a split level home on Pinterest, and I said, that's exactly what I want. That is the 1970s disaster looking home that I want. So, another thing, if you haven't seen a split level home in real life, you've probably seen them on HGTV or something, if you watch things like that, because these homes get remodeled all the time. Like, they are usually pretty ugly and very dated. They end up sitting in the 70s, or maybe they get stuck in the 80s for a while. So this is a very popular type of home to be remodeled. So what you'll see me do is on the right side of the house. You can see me do this before. On the right side of the house, I increase the terrain so that you can't see the foundation. So it looks more like a split level. It's the illusion of a split level. And this deleting the foundation here on the right side of the house, that is the true split level look, as it were. Unfortunately, if you're going to build a split level thing like this, every time you want a new room, you have to have walls and stairs up to those walls. Because while there is a way to connect walls from different heights to each other, you can't build rooms out of them or put a roof on top. And that's a nightmare, and they don't turn into actual rooms, so you're going to have problems with, like, Sims walking into the same area, even if it doesn't look like the same room. And they might, get embarrassed because somebody walked in on them in the bathroom, even though that's not what happened. But anyway, so also I apologize for the video being a little choppy. I don't know if my computer can handle all of the custom content that I was throwing into this. There's lots of custom content in this build. I will link as much of it as I can in the description, and I'll talk about it when we get there. So, because the Sims don't have a use for the garage, because they don't have cars in The Sims 4, really, functional cars, that is, I went ahead and just remodeled the garage and said maybe, the lazy older brother lives here and, he was supposed to move out and hasn't. So they just, turned the garage into his bedroom. And you'll also see, so I gave him his own bathroom because maybe, like, the mom was tired of him, like, dragging his wet towel through the house while he was taking a shower. So they built him his own bathroom. And I also you'll see me kind of mess around with this until I finally came across an actual smart decision where there's just a little pathway that connects the entrance to the garage room and the bathroom. Also, what you just saw me do, cut out that little area on the other side of where the garage is going to be. It'll make more sense when we start putting furniture in. That's a conversation pit, which was a super thing in the 70s and 60s, and they're really fun. I think they're really neat, and they need to come back. There's no TV. It's just, a little pit where you all sit around and talk. Also, there's just I put this little sidewalk up to the garage, and I messed with these hedges here. I wanted the hedges to, like, sit on top to make it look like a planter box, but I didn't. I at this point, I didn't know about the debug menu. If you don't know about the debug menu, there's plenty of tutorials about show live edit objects and show hidden objects to find extra things. And if I had known about that, I definitely would have put a flower box rather than just hedges. The other thing to keep in mind when you're doing these, like, deleted foundation split level homes and builds, is your wall coverings will get a little bit messed up, so if you're not diligent, you'll find, like, weird wallpaper on the outside of the house like I did. So this is the conversation pit. I messed around with the color scheme for almost every single room on the bottom floor a couple of times, because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. The 70s is very orange, but I didn't want to make the whole house orange. I wanted to, you know, give it some variety. That being said, there's a lot of wood paneling, because wood paneling is essential to the 70s look. Just wood everything. Paneling, furniture. So this conversation pit, usually they don't have a TV. They don't really have anything except for maybe a little fireplace, but I didn't put one in. I didn't want to have to resize everything around this fireplace. So, the kitchen also, now that we're on to the kitchen gave me so much grief. I knew what I wanted. I wanted this 60s, 70s, mostly 70s, I wanted this 70s avocado kitchen. And you can look them up. They're super cool looking, very, very retro. Where, the floor, I wanted the floor to be darker, but I wanted the walls to be, like, green, and all the cabinets are green, and it's hideous and awesome and ugly. The other thing that I did in the kitchen, you can see it here, I made a little pass-through window to the family room. This is going to end up being the family room. This pass-through window thing was... again, you see it really pop up in houses of the 60s and 70s, and even it carries through into, like, more modern builds, just because it's super convenient. Like, if you're all eating, you know, a TV dinner or something, to just put it in the microwave in the kitchen and send it right on through and not have to walk through the entire house. These wallpapers, these 70s wallpapers are from Danny Paradise. You can find them on Danny/Paradise. I'll put a link in the description. I used almost every single swatch of these, I think. I think there's a couple that I didn't, but they are so perfect for the 70s crap that I tried to do. Again, I apologize for the video being a little choppy. Thought my computer could handle it, and it looked okay, and then it didn't, so. So I found this sectional sofa. There's so much custom content in this house. I found the sectional sofa, which is perfect, exactly what I wanted for this conversation pit. Because that's all it is. It's just a little couch indent. I mean, we had them in my elementary school, in the library, but you don't really see them in homes anymore. So this color scheme that I ended up doing for the family room, which you see here with the carpet, it's like this greenish, yellowish nightmare wallpaper, and I love it. This ugly color scheme was just perfect. I'm really proud of how this whole room turned out. The wallpaper and the carpet and everything just gives it this really weird coloring to it. It makes it look like an old photograph, I think. I really think the carpet sold it. And the carpet, I found somebody had transferred all of the Sims 3 build mode carpets into the Sims 4, which is great because the Sims 4 base game comes with like 0 usable carpets. They're kind of pointless. But but this was great. I ended up using this. Also, this that you see right here, this is just stair add-ons. They are not functional, but they make it look way more filled out, because I didn't want like a banister in this hallway, if that makes any sense. You'll see these flagstone floors that I use that carry in from like the front porch into the entryway. That is a super duper common thing. My family's house even has it, and that house was built in the 60s. And another thing about the 70s is they were really big into huge built-ins, and built-ins have been a thing for, you know, ever. But there's something about 70s built-ins where they're just dark wood colors and they're gross and awesome, and I really, really overdid it with the built-ins, I think, in this house, or rather like faux built-ins. But this entertainment center is one of them. This, like, you could put a TV there. I put the TV on the other side of the room, but, you know, record players, and I fill this with books eventually. I promise that the video stops being choppy in just a little bit, so give it a second. Also, I don't end up using these in the family room, but I found this floating countertop, and it works as a counter or a windowsill or a shelf even. It's got lots of purposes, but I ended up just putting regular counters, like island counters. So I'm not super happy with the final result for the kitchen, but I like the little seating area that I did. I think I just needed to look a little more extensively for floors. I did a lot of planning and extra custom content shopping, if you will. I looked all over for like the best 70s stuff that I could find. Everything in this house also should be functional. Sims should be able to access everything in this house, with the exception of maybe the sectional couch that I use as, like, you'll see it in a second. I delete this table here. Except for the sectional couch that I end up using for the seating area. That may or may not be usable, but it doesn't matter because there's going to be a dining room anyway, and an island, and lots of places to sit. But yeah, the color scheme in this kitchen is horrible, and I love it. And I've seen other 70s builds, a lot of like decades challenges that people do, and I honestly think that people are scared to make their homes look ugly. And I get it, you want your house to be attractive, you want people to like it and download it, but man, the 70s was unabashedly just super tacky. There's colors everywhere, and I really wanted to take advantage of that. In every room, it's a whole new color scheme, and it's gross and wonderful. So in the dining room, going into the formal living room, I use this parquet wood flooring. I'm fairly certain that's how you say it. I don't know. I've only seen it in writing. But this parquet wood flooring is, it's so retro. You don't really see this anymore. You're starting to see it more and more now in, like, the old farmhouse trends that are popular now. But man, for like 30 years it just disappeared. It was tacky and nobody liked it. Okay, now the video's back up to speed. Again, I apologize. This is the formal living room, and I went full orange for this room. Most of the custom content furniture that I downloaded, that was, you know, intentionally retro, it came in orange, so you have to use it. It's got some yellows and more wood tones, of course. But anyway, yeah, so you're gonna want to embrace the ugliness here. So for this fireplace, I just need like a fake fireplace setting with columns and that same stone backdrop. Something that, you know, if you were remodeling this house in the 2010s, it would probably get painted over. Another thing that I added into this formal living room is another Sims 3 conversion. That's the word. Sims 3 conversion of the upright piano, because grand pianos take up a lot of room and they're really expensive. But I found somebody, God bless them, had taken the upright piano from The Sims 3 and converted it, and I believe it works. I think I played with it. I found these corner shelves, and I use those a lot. I love how they look. Alright, now we're gonna get into the renovated garage. So again, you don't really need a garage in The Sims 4. So, yeah, the older brother in this fake narrative I've got going here. The older brother lives here, and maybe he's trying to make his band a thing, and it's never gonna be a thing, and, you know, he's kind of a scrub, and he sleeps on a pull-out couch. And, you know, he's got, you know, these shelves that have some of his childhood toys on them, and little hangout space. I ought to, you know, maybe I should have given him his own microwave. I didn't grow up in the 70s, so I don't know how realistic it would be to own more than one microwave, though this is the dream home, so money isn't an obstacle. There are like 10 record players in this house. I say that, there's a lot. Maybe 4 or 5, if I believe. I found, oh my gosh, I found these classic rock posters, and I love most of this music, so I'm assuming, oh, and all these Beatles albums, oh my gosh, whoever made these, and all the posters is like my hero. I'm a sucker for this kind of music, and I wanted this room to look a little thrown together, like it wasn't intended for him to live here as long as he did. Maybe he's a young adult and he just needs to move out and hasn't. But again, he gets his own bathroom. There's the floating countertop. I do end up using it here. Alright, moving on to the upstairs. This is, there's going to be the master bedroom, and then there's an older girl's bedroom, which is what I'm working on right now, and then there's a bedroom for 2 young girls. And you can do whatever you want with this, of course. This house is available for download on the gallery. You're going to be missing a lot of custom content, but oh well. If you link a lot of it, it'll make sense. So what I'm trying to do here is a built-in, I saw this on Pinterest and was like, I want this. This built-in bed. It's built into the wall, and it has these shelves attached to it. I love this room. I think if I was a kid in the 70s, like if I was a baby boomer, I would hope that this was my room growing up. So, here's another built-in bookshelf and a desk. And I ended up making this into like a little vanity area. So, you know, you can still do homework, but... Oh yeah. Look at how cute that is. I'd live there. She gets her own record player too, and I decorated her her room with the same music that I listen to. So this is very much the house, or the room that I would love to live in. I love these retro TVs. I found so many, and it was hard to pick which one I wanted. So this is the bedroom for the 2 younger girls. Maybe they're both children. You could make them teens if you wanted to. I put toys and stuff in here. Yeah, so let me talk about this. These beds that I'm using are from the Peacemaker, what is this set called? I'll think of it in a second. But this is Peacemaker's furniture, and God bless Peacemaker. Holy cow, they make some of the best custom content. I use their windows on the outside too. I'll just put links to all this in the description. And these built-in shelves, I believe, are Severinka, I think. And they're super, super cute. They're like modular, and they come in different, you know, shapes, so not every single one is the same. Yeah, they get their own built-in desk too, you know, to color on or do whatever little kids are gonna do. And maybe they're twins, and this half of the room is gonna be yellow, so just like the other half was, is pink. Like, how fun is this color scheme? Like, things can be fun and colorful. Like, the trend nowadays is, like, everything is white and clean, and it looks really nice, and I do a lot of that. If you saw, like, my Mesa house build, like, I for sure did that, but you gotta have color. Like, it's okay to be colorful sometimes. And wicker furniture just needs more love in general, not just outdoors. But I put lots of wicker furniture, especially in the master bedroom, which we'll see soon. I put this under cabinet lighting just to give it a more realistic look. And then I started really decorating up the place. Like lots of shelves that are completely decorative, like don't serve any actual function. Both sets of my grandparents have this in their house. It's just completely pointless shelves that just show little curios and decorative jars and things. If you don't know about the OMSP shelf, I'll put a link to that as well. This is great for cluttering up spaces. I hadn't quite learned how to use it in this build, so bear with me. But yeah, the other thing is when you download custom content, the first thing you should look for is clutter, because you will want something to fill out your space and and have it look more lived in. So clutter is the way to go. I was pretty happy with this bar area, actually. I think it ended up looking pretty nice. You could replace this with like an actual juice bar if you wanted to. I think it's 3 wide, so yeah, it's the same space. But you know, it's just more counter space. But yeah, these shelves like above the seating area, totally like they don't do anything. Oh yeah, combining curtains. Don't be afraid to do it. I put these like little curtains on each one and then long ones on either side, and you could do more if you wanted. I do it in I think in the master bedroom. Don't be afraid to try out new things. Do things that you think are crazy. Okay, so I saw this little sunset themed bathroom on Pinterest, and I wanted to recreate it as best I could. It had like those very 70s stripes going across the wall, which is not a thing that you can do in Sims 4, and I couldn't really find any custom content that was exactly like what I wanted. Colored every other wall a different shade of the same sunset, I guess you'd say. It's super cute. I followed like so many or I pinned, I should say, so many like retro things, like 50s, 60s, 70s things on Pinterest. I found them and was like, I have to recreate this. It's so cute. I ended up rearranging this just because I didn't like where the door was. This little green, this mint green area here, I turned it into a little office. I believe in the original floor plan that I had, that I was inspired by. In this floor plan, this was like a mudroom, except the garage is on the other side, so I'm not really sure what the purpose of having this was. You're not going to walk all the way across the garage family room and then the kitchen into the mudroom just to take off your shoes. So I turned it into like a little, just a little office, a little storage area. I found this functional typewriter. It does function as a computer, I believe. Oh yeah, this is where I put the piano in. Oh yeah. Lifesaver. You know, if I lived in like a really big house that was like totally my own to decorate, I think I would probably have at least one ugly 70s room. I love this orange. I love the color orange, and it needs more love. The pillows are not, you know, required to make this look, but I found these Southwest pillows, and they really filled out the space. so I added it. But yeah, fake fireplace setting. What else am I missing here? I think that's it. Flagstone, walls, and the floor. Makes it look a little bit more real rather than just fireplace up against wallpapered wall. This wood paneling to the wallpaper here really sells this room. I'm really proud of myself for this. Yeah, so much clutter. Download all the clutter that you can. All the clutter that your computer can handle, because it's so worth it to make your house look like a real thing. I found this neat little bench that, it's like a bench with a seating area, but you can also put things on it. So I turned it into like a phone desk, which again is not a thing that we have anymore. But it's so cute. I love it. I had to use it. Oh yeah, pop art is like for sure a thing in the 70s. Like, this is a very trendy home. You would see pop art in a lot of like younger people's homes, so maybe this is like, I mean, they have a young adult son, so they're not like, you know, super young, but they're hip, they're trendy. Another thing that I think really sells the 70s look is the curtains over the doors that I'll do here in a second. I don't know if Sims can walk through them. I'm assuming they can. That might be a dumb assumption on my part. I end up cutting out this and making one big long garage door. It makes it look a little more correct for a 2-car garage rather than 2 weird small 1-car garage doors. You'll see. It looks so much better from the outside. So now we're just cluttering up, we're just decorating it, making the house look like people actually live here. Oh yeah, this kid, like, definitely stuck in his childhood. You know, he's a young adult, but he won't move out, and he's still got, you know, toys on the shelf, and his parents can't get him to leave. His band he thinks his band's gonna be famous, and they're not. They're no Wild Stallions, so. This took me a significant amount of time. I want to say, like, a total of maybe 7 or 8 hours. There is a cut. I think I already skipped over it from, I had to go to bed. I was so tired. I was like falling asleep, filling this house with furniture. Which is why I think I started the upstairs and then had to come back to it. Oh yeah, this is my music, so all the Pink Floyd. I for sure fell asleep, like, staring at this room. Another great thing I found were these stackable cubbies. I will link those as well in the description. They are like little cube shelves, and they are modular, and they come with a little bench pad, so you can sit on top of them as well. Like, they're super multifunctional, very realistic. I love it. Like, super thankful for whoever made these. I believe it's like RVSP or something is the username. I will look it up and I will link it to you. And for things like little detailed things that I don't link in the description, let me know if you want them and I will track them down. Anything that you want, really, just Google it in Sims 4 CC X object here and you will find it. I almost guarantee. So, this is the bathroom that all three sisters share. And, I am unfortunately really proud of it. It is ugly, and I love it. It's one of the only blue rooms in the house. There's not a ton of blue. And it's got this huge vanity that you'll see me build. Very ugly built-in, and it's awesome. I just love it. I love how ugly it looks. Is that bad? I don't know if the sink is functional. I should say that. I put the sink in here, and I should have put 2 sinks because, 3 people are sharing this bathroom. But I don't see why it wouldn't be, just because it's intersecting something else. Certain objects are really picky about that. Yeah, you can see, like, the drawer hanging down underneath, which is a realistic look. I don't know if it's usable. If it's not, just put it on a countertop instead. The toilet is in its own little, like, extra room back there. That's the other thing about these houses when they get remodeled, is a lot of these rooms are very weirdly shaped. And usually people end up knocking out walls and making each room a little bit more even, but of course, this is pre-2010 renovation, so I made the rooms as weirdly shaped as I wanted. But man, like, what a cool vanity. Don't you think? I would live here. Alright, so this is the master bedroom. I finally get to use the 70s wallpaper, like quintessential 70s wallpaper. I'm pretty sure this isn't like that 70s show or some other period piece, I guess you'd call it. And I went crazy with like the wicker and the wood furniture in here. And more layered curtains, very 70s look. I really tried to stay as true to the decade as I could. I looked at so many designer Pinterest things and other pictures from the decade, like designer homes and what they looked like. Like, look at this rug. Isn't it ugly and awesome? This is the master bedroom. You'll see me put in a built-in shelf, or a built-in desk, excuse me. And there's this little reading area, super cute. Oh yeah, hitting it hard with the built-ins again. Here's the built-in desk. More wicker. And I put lots of plants in this house, too. Lots of ferns and, things that shed and get everywhere. I'm just thinking about my grandmother and her house that definitely has not been renovated since the 70s. Oh yeah, look at all those built-ins. It's a gaudy mess. So, this is a master bathroom. It's one of the only rooms in the house that I had zero inspiration for. I just started throwing stuff down, and I like what I did. The other stuff is, either based on a picture or based on a color scheme that I liked. Like, the vanity wasn't, a totally original idea. I made it my own here. But I like this. It ended up being a natural-looking, almost hippie-esque kind of room. More wicker. Just very natural, fake natural, like, very natural, but also very plastic. Quintessential 70s, the materialism that defined the 80s that started here. So, for the hallway, I put in this hall closet. It's totally unnecessary, but, it adds to the look. It's there. You could probably put something in there if you wanted to, but I didn't. The back deck is pretty generic. You could do whatever you wanted with it, and I didn't do a ton with the yard back here either. You could do whatever you wanted, depending on, like, if your sim wants to garden, you could build a garden back here. I built this on, I believe, a 50 by 50 lot, if not like a 40 by 50 lot. It's a big lot. You got lots of space. You can even build a guest house if you really wanted to, because there is no guest room in this, you know, huge house. So, this is a little trick I learned on the YouTube. I wanted again, for the split level look, the first floor does not, the first floor ceiling doesn't match up with the second floor base line, if that makes any sense. And you can't so I put up a half wall, but you can't put a roof on a half wall. So what you do is you get a little room, and you totally separate this roof from that, and then you can raise the level however tall you want it to, or however far off the ground you want it to be. But it has to be completely disconnected, otherwise it doesn't work. So right now this is just a floating roof piece, but I've lined it up so that it looks close enough. And there's a flat roof on it anyway, so it's not going to matter, even if it doesn't totally match up, if that makes sense. If it's too tall, the roof sticks out of the top. So, and that's it. So, here's some additional pictures of the inside, just so you can get some nice stills. And this is the finished product. So, this house is available for download on the gallery. The username is Aliron, A-L-L-I-R-O-N, builds, B-U-I-L-D-S. And all of I will link the custom content, the super necessary custom content. There's so much of it in this house. You don't need all of it to make the look, but the windows for sure, the mid-century modern windows, basically everything, and those windows are from Peacemaker as well. So Peacemaker's windows, Peacemaker's furniture, and I'll try to link anything else that I can think of. If I don't link something and you really want it, let me know, and I will find it for you, and I will give it to you. Make sure that if you do have this house, that bb.moveobjects is turned on. And I think that's it. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like this video if you did, and leave me a comment. Thanks, everybody. Stay inside.